morning, ladies and gentlemen of the United States of America and Japan. My name is Tyrus Storm, and I would like to welcome you to the 18th episode of StormWatch. We have so much fun planned for this Mother's Day. But before we can begin, I just got a little bit of life update for y'all. I've been trying to figure out where the fuck to live because the state of Florida is getting awfully expensive. The last rental wasn't working out, and well, everything to be purchased right now is not within my price range or not even worth purchasing in my eyes. Not enough land. Never enough land. Never enough land. But getting into these rentals is even more of a pain in the ass than I swear. I've done at least a dozen rentals in my lifetime. Don't ask why. And never, ever have I had so much difficulty as I have in the last few months. Some of the demands from these landlords are outrageous. They want you to never have missed a payment on your fucking phone bill. They never want you to have had any, if you rented from somewhere else, they want to see that they didn't keep any of the deposit, that you got all your money back and that you didn't even scratch, ding. They want it to look like you didn't even live there, basically. But one house stood out above the rest. And this bitch, oh my Lord, I have never seen any shit like this a day in my life, no matter who. Oh my Lord. I'm going to read to you guys the list of demands. Yes, the list of demands that this woman gave us. Do you understand how fucking crazy? Okay. Please reread all my emails and perform my detailed request sending photographic proof. Who the fuck is asking for photographic proof of a place? Why are you not here doing this shit yourself? Okay. You know what? We'll forgive that for a second. Because she's not here, she needs a landlord to do it, or she needs a realtor to do it, so that way everything's taken care of. Okay, whatever. Move all stacked red pavers back into now white fire pit barbecue area onto center pavers in backyard. Rose sails removed 2 spray Roundup and let dry. Asked if you could replace them. Okay, so they already moved the pavers in the backyard from one spot and then placed it around a tree in that same backyard. And then the woman is asking the realtor to move the stones back to the exact same spot and spray Roundup on the entire back row of pavers, which lines almost the entire backyard where it's not mulch. By the way, who the fuck replaces a yard with mulch? What on God's green earth is this? You know what? Okay. Move blue wooden post stand currently blocking front door to left near garage in front and covering both white downspouts. She wants these in exact locations because if they're not in exact, and she wants photo proof that they're in these exact locations too. Move huge black pot and trash bins, both currently 2 months. And trash bins, both currently 2 months, always left wrong position. Pot goes between mailboxes and first oleander tree by street. She's getting photos from her neighbors about where the trash cans are placed by the road and where each of the potted plants are placed out by the trees in the yard. Not a joke. This is a legit, this is real shit. This was a real request. Oh my fucking God, I'm glad we didn't move into this place. And it gets better. It gets so much better. Trash cans, see all repeatedly referenced instructions, must be kept and always replaced back into LG paver stone located on right side of house. Move empty dark green planter to front of hibiscus by street. Move bench to front of hibiscus. Move blue flower plate to front of flagpole. What the No renter wants to live with all your shit. For all you landlords out there, and you know what? Shout out to my old landlord, Cindy. And shout out to my parents and shout out to everybody who doesn't seem to understand that we don't want to live with your shit. We pay you so we don't live with your shit. We pay you so we have a place to stay. And we cover the electric and the water and all the other stuff and the insurance for our stuff and our stay there. Not for your electric, for your items, for rooms that you have blocked off, and we're expected to care for this stuff. Nay. There is nowhere on God's green earth where any of you fucking landlords should be expecting everyone to live with your shit. You should never expect people to live with your shit. That is your shit. I know this was supposed to be like a joke. We're going to get to the joke soon enough, but oh Lord, man, this has been
a couple weeks and months of shit like this. Carol, know this. God, angels always get workers, neighbors, and friends to document and send proof of my properties to me. Eventually, I always know if fixed or done. God and his angels always alert me whether the job is done right. This woman is having a schizophrenic meltdown and having the realtor make us deal with it. For the love of God, Carol, know this. God, I need you guys to. I'm gonna repeat it because it gets so much better. But this is the start. Carol, know this. God and his angels always get workers and neighbors and friends to document and send photo proof of my properties to me. Eventually, I always know if it's fixed or done. You know what? Praise Jesus. Praise Lord. Amen. Yes, God. Oh, Lord. All right, we about to get back into the preacher voice because this is some shit. Oh, Lord, this is some shit, baby. God has worked for me, saving souls by testifying all hardships I have and am enduring in my life when others said I'm a black sheep, I'm not valuable, and would never be successful. I'd always be a servant, making others' dreams come true. If you're doing Christian, missionary work, aren't you always doing service for somebody's desires and what they need in this world? Okay, and if not, you're doing it for God. So you're doing someone else's desires and their needs in this world. I claim Proverbs 37:4. Take delight in the Lord and he will give you all the desires of your heart. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Take delight in the Lord. So okay. If you're not supposed to, I'd always be a servant, making others' dreams come true, never my own desires. Okay. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Yes, Lord. I am living proof age is just a number. I'm proving God's unconditional love for all his creation, people, plants, animals, and etc. She literally put etc. in there. Not a joke. You, Carol, are so loved by God. Please ask God, who do you say I am? Then just believe him and step into God's purpose for your life. Yes, Lord. Amen. I'm sorry. I gotta drag this. God damn, not goddamn, good Lord, yes, Lord. You, Carol, are loved by God. Oh, yes. That's what I did in 2020 at my first spiritual awakening, catalyzed by George Floyd's murder and onto the front lines as the oldest living Brevard County activist. You were catalyzed by George Floyd's murder? You were in Florida, Brevard County, and you were catalyzed by George Floyd's murder on the other side of the United States? When has anyone in Brevard ever actually done anything truly for the sake of good of humanity? And I mean that sincerely. We brought Nazis and Jewish survivors over here to build rockets for us and wind up controlling the entire United States. What the fuck do you want from me? Anyone from Brevard is out. You know what? I try very hard to do a lot of good by the general public. A lot of you may not believe me, but I do try to be a decent person and help where I can. But I have never in my life met anyone in this county who is truly a good, loving, caring, kind soul that's an activist. Are you kidding me? The best people from Brevard moved to Brevard and then left Brevard when they realized how awful Brevard was. And if they didn't leave Brevard and they got stuck here, then woe is you and woe is your family, because everyone who comes here gets stuck here at some point. All of you who moved away from here, by the way, you're going to come back at some point. I'll see you guys here eventually in like 20 or 30 years when I'm visiting the town that you're living in again. I've lived here long enough. I'm tired of you people. So tired of you people. But my point is, she was catalyzed by George Floyd's murder. You know what? She will not take another breath of fresh air without going out of her way to secure the breath of fresh air for another person in America. Okay. You know what? We're going to start this. I want this to really sink in. That's what I did in 2020 at my first spiritual awakening. Where was this? Were you just taking peyote with a bunch of Mexicans in fucking Tucson? What the actual hell was going on in your life? What was your first spiritual awakening? Did you go down to the Everglades and do like mushrooms with Dakota or something? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I need to save the world from the racists and the bigots and the sexists and the prejudices and the evils. And it's gotta be done by my hand. It's gotta be done by my hand. But you know what? I at least respect you for having a little bit of religion in this matter, because Lord knows that woman needs some God. Yes, she does. And so I think maybe this woman needs a little bit more God. Catalyzed by George Floyd's murder and onto the front lines as the oldest living Brevard County activist, risking my life and family to fight racists all over the world till God ordered forfeit all worldly goods to family and needy to serve Mission Malta. Okay, so one thing, I'm still here in Brevard, so how are you fighting racists all over the world? I hate all of you equally. I could care less what color or tribe or whatever the fuck you are. I don't like any of you. If you are not a part of me and my clan, then I must not... Oh, sorry, stanky boot bitches, motherfuck. What the fuck? You know what? How are you gonna say that you're fighting racists all over the world? How are you gonna say that you're fighting racists all over the world when good old Donnie is in office? There you go. You guys wanted another Donnie joke. I gave you a Donnie joke. There you go. How are you guys fighting racists all over the world when ICE is still in the airports? How are you guys fighting racists all over the world when Erica Kirk is still running around the United States? By the way, Jake Paul, we're still waiting for the blackface skit. I really hope it's funny. I'm actually excited for it. I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, he's awful. Why don't you pick us up? I gotta say, Eric Drewski's skit was funny. If Jake Paul's skit is funny, then I need whoever was the Asian dude that played Jim in The Office, I need you to do a red face skit. And I need you to come out of the woodworks and paint yourself all red, put the feathers on you. I'll get you a fucking headdress and the moccasins and the beadwork and all the shit, but I need you to do it for me. Do it. And then I will hire someone from my tribe if you want to do Asian face. We'll paint you yellow and you can go, oh, and then just scream into the camera. Oh, that's a very, very nice. Yes, a very good. I like that idea. And then you go along with stuff like that. Now back to this woman who's fighting racists, apparently. God kept me alive. Demons tried to murder me too. No joke. Demons murder everyone here in the United States daily. We call those cartel members. That's what I did in hold on. August 2020, my severely abusive narcissistic bio-mother died after beginning in womb and throughout my entire lifetime her demonic harsh torment. What the fuck? Is this woman Carrie? Is this woman just Carrie survived and made it to middle age? My narcissistic bio-mother died after beginning in womb and throughout my entire lifetime her demonic harsh torment. I loved and witnessed to her, brought her to God, and always honored her and my only sister faithfully till the end. God desires your fellowship. God stands at the door of your heart asking for a ride or die close personal relationship with you, Carol. He wants to speak to you through daily prayer, meditation, scriptures, study. Take good care of your vessel. Give up people pleasing. Learn to see and from third eye, tap into your silent hidden gift of discernment and intuition. Study to see yourself as God sees you. You are beautifully and wonderfully made and created for a very special purpose only you can do. No one can do this for God. Wait, hold on. What? No one can do this for God. Then who the fuck are you doing it for? What is the purpose of all of this that I have just read that you have... I would have had to read this, by the way, if I was living there, and I would have had to honor all of this shit. This would have been my chores. Not the realtors. This would have been my chores. I would have had to read this bitch. This sanctimonious, narcissistic twat. You know what? All the people of the United States who are hyper-Christian... You're psychotic. Also, this is not any backing to you atheists, because Lord knows I had so many arguments with my fucking father about this stuff. And it's like, It is literally like talking to a child and saying, but you like red and they like blue. But why do they like red? How could they not see that blue is the superior answer? How do they like this when they understand that they're being completely retarded about entirely? Oh my God, man. And it goes both ways. But truly, all you super hyper fanatic Christians here in the United States, you guys need to stop shoving Jesus down other people's throats. It's great that you love to take Jesus's cock down your throat. It is great that you like to take the JC, the Jesus cock, down your throat. Left, right, center, just a little bit of the old right to the side of the cheek. You know what I mean? And I get that. I understand. But the thing is, you're like doing the first 90% of a blowjob and expecting somebody to take the last 10% of it and be okay with that. Now, well, to some people that sounds like, hey, that's only 10% of the work, and you get to feel the warm glory on you. I just gotta say, in that instance, most people would rather be the 90% of the blowjob because, you know what, at least they controlled most of the situation. You know what I mean? They're not just getting someone's ejaculate and finishing spit. That's psychotic. No one wants to be the finishing spit and ejaculate unless it's just a proper orgy. You know what I mean? Then that makes sense, but this is not an orgy. This isn't you shoving Jesus into people's face is non-consensual. It's a non-consensual christening. Christening. Study to see yourself as God sees you. You are beautifully and wonderfully made and created for a very special purpose only you can do. No one can do this for God but you. God trusts you and chose you, Carol, to free up my precious limited time to honorably serve him all over the earth. Bitch, it's your job to make my job easier, to make other people's jobs easier. I'm unable to do God's work to the best of my ability because I am overworking and due to serving in Europe. 6 hours later than your Florida time zone, I'm unable to sleep and therefore function optimally. How can I serve God proper? How can I take the angel bukkake if I am not fully rested? How could I possibly serve God if I'm not getting my 8 hours of shut-eye? Do you actually think Christians do you think Paul ever slept? Do you think Mary Magdalene ever slept? This is a very legitimate question. With all of their stories, does it sound like they got much rest? Does it sound like any Christian in history ever got any rest? Take notes from the Jehovah's Witnesses. Most of them are fat, but Jesus Christ, they at least know how to walk all day. They at least walk all day. Do you need sleep to be a good Christian? This is a real question. Jesus didn't sleep. He wandered the desert for 40 days and he didn't eat either. I thought we were supposed to be like Jesus. What does that say about you? God convicted me this is happening because I am having to do your work. Since we met when you've been unable to locate and secure vendors for necessary maintenance work for my properties. By the way, as a landlord, it's your job to secure all the necessary fixtures for your properties. I've been forced to step up to research, find email, follow up, chase work for Brevard County vendors, businesses, and contractors just to ensure work is finished correctly. God ordered me to stop today. I always obey my Father. God says you should have been boots on ground watching, sending detailed pics before I paid for insufficient work and had to waste precious time and resources enforcing paid contract works finished. God says I'm not supposed to micromanage both properties. That's your job. God hired you to perform. No, bitch, you hired this woman to take care of these properties. You hired the woman to look after this stuff, and her job is to ensure that it goes to somebody to rent, not that she is your fucking housemaid. And by the way, the AC unit was kicked in the house. The AC unit, when we got into the house, was 86 degrees in that bitch. Nigga, it's summertime in Florida. I ain't finna stay in that shit. Fuck that. God damn, man. Not with the AI data centers making it hot. We got microclimates. It's like living in the Gobi Desert now. What the actual fuck is this? Florida went from a swamp to a desolate land of fat retards and AI data centers and Palm Beach Pete pussy. Like... You hired her, by the way. You've been promising handyman will frame both bathroom mirrors ASAP. If he can't or won't finish work, fire him and hire someone else. Going forward, send photo proof while work being performed and well-being contractors deliver. Okay. In leases, state you will be performing and sending detailed photos regular basis inside and outside of the property. Thorough inspections on both properties. In other words, even when we're living there, they're supposed to send documented proof inside and outside of the property being taken care of. I personally lived years in both homes. I designed and maintained both homes and want to keep it looking like owned and loved family homes, not just rentals. No, what you would like is to micromanage every fucking indiscretion that takes place. And I've already lived in a house like that. I already did, and I'm not about to do it again. And you know what? To all the landlords of Florida and all the landlords of the United States, I understand your issues. Do not think I don't understand your plight. But we pay for you to own multiple properties. So, don't be retarded. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth and, just take the fucking money and run. Is it that hard to say? Just take the fucking money and run, homeowners. And you know what? I'm done with all that spiel. Excuse me. Excuse the fuck out of me again. We're finally going to get started with today. And today we have a big fucking special new segment that was going to be going on as well. We have watch spotting. I guess that's what it's called nowadays when you see somebody in public wearing these big fancy... before we even get into that, I'm wearing a fucking Grand Seiko today. I know that it doesn't seem like that big a deal to a lot of you guys because you're retards who don't understand anything about watches. But this is a fantastic watch with a purple guilloche dial and the little date window and the Cyclops there right there. It's beautiful, beautiful. Sports watch with a fancy purple dial. I couldn't ignore it. Everything that I own nowadays is usually purple or black. It's no in between. And this has been a fantastic special occasion watch. I understand that it's a sports watch. I should be wearing it more daily, but it is... The metal just feels so perfect on my skin. It sinks right in. It's a fantastically accurate movement. I think it's +5, -4 seconds accuracy a day. It's part of their heritage collection. It was the Watches of Switzerland edition, which they released a green and a purple dial, both limited to 200 pieces worldwide. And this was a Japanese watch, so obviously most of the pieces were allocated to Japan, several of them to Switzerland, and I think it was like a dozen pieces were allocated to the United States. And lucky enough, I went in when there was just like the last half a dozen of them, and I purchased this 2 years ago. I think it was $6,900 was the base price. It's probably way more right now given all the tariffs and everything going on in the world. And on top of that, you're not getting this edition anymore. But the Heritage did have a black, I know they had like a black and maybe it was like a gray guilloche dial as well. That was part of the collection. Not limited pieces. Fantastic if you'd love to ever go take a look at it. Go to your local Mayors, your Grand Seiko, whatever the fuck. But I have never found this watch to not be worth it is worth truly every second that it's been on my wrist, and every dollar I spent on it was sublime. I wouldn't say it's better than Rolex, but I will say I've got Hamilton and then my Tudor and then my Grand Seiko, and you can feel the step up in luxury with each timepiece and how even just the micro details, like when you look at the polishing on the exterior, it completely matches and is absolutely reflect. You can see your reflection in the watch itself. And even when you look at the watch movement on the backside, you can see the polish that they put on the rotor itself. It's truly a masterpiece and an art piece at that. And you know what? I think that art may be the big thing of this week because the Met Gala definitely showed us some art pieces. Now, I'm going to say this. Yes, a lot of it's art, but I think the theme of this week, or the theme of this Met Gala, is too much money and not enough taste. Because some of the pieces were fantastic, others were gaudy. It was all gem set, other shit. Some of them, though, did take it seriously, like Rami Malek. He's wearing a Cartier Crash, a 1992 Cartier Crash Platinum. Do you guys have any idea how fucking cool that is? The Cartier Crash was founded in the oh my fuck, 60s or something like that. And what had occurred, there's two stories to this, but I think I can only remember one off the top of my head. One of them was a woman had been in a crash while wearing her Cartier, and she brought it in to Cartier to see if they could repair the watch. And what they did was they took the design of the broken watch and mass produced it into a new series. So they just took this woman's downfall and made it a blessing. Kind of like what Japan does that shit all the time. They took a nuclear bomb and gave us Hello Kitty. I think that's a fucking good benefit. And they gave us Grand Seiko. Fantastic watch. But you know what? Outside of Rami Malek, a lot of other people had, some people didn't. Like Luke Evans wearing this Hublot Big Bang Unico white gold. Yeah, it was white gold and the fucking, what is that? That's baguette diamonds. He has a full diamond set. I mean, it's factory set. I'll give Hublot one thing. They did their factory set with this. But what's the point of putting factory set diamonds in a chronograph? You're supposed to be timing things. And on top of that, he looks like a faggot. He looks like the guy from that group from the YMCA. Who did that? Who did that shit? Hold on. I'm going to look this shit up. Because I got time today, motherfucker. The Village People. Yeah, he looks like the fucking cop from the Village Pit. No, I closed the... Okay, give me a minute. I'll pull it back up here in a second. We're still going through the watches anyways. Connor Story wears Omega Constellation, Observatory, Moonshine, whatever. Paipan Dial, Omega, fucking nothing special. The bracelet's nice. The bracelet is, you can always get me with a good mesh bracelet. Always get me with a good mesh bracelet. Finn Wolfhard wears he got a JLC Reverso. And what is this? This was the Monoface Small Seconds. White gold with sapphire. Everything is gem set this season, except for like Jay-Z and Serena Williams. And Serena, oh my God, man. That woman has my favorite watch collection on any woman I've ever seen. She's like an AP ambassador, if I'm not mistaken. So, of course, because AP is my favorite fucking watch brand, fantastic, though. Fantastic. We're going to get to hers here in a second. But Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things kills it with a sapphire set, JLC. And then Tyreek Withers has another the mono second JLC Reverso. But except his is set with emeralds. Both running you, I think, about 20 grand or something like that. So a very cheap watch, if you ask me. Very affordable nowadays. God damn. That man looks like a queer. That shirt is see-through. You know who would have been better wearing that? Serena Williams. Dwayne Johnson showed up in the Billionaire 3 with the Ashoka cut. It's a Jacob & Co. Billionaire 3, the Ashoka cut diamonds. It's a full diamond set watch. It's basically an art piece. It's not even actually a watch, but it's set with this is the double tourbillon. Yeah, time only double tourbillon, full diamond set. The Ashoka cut is specific and special to Jacob & Co. for any of you who don't know. Definitely take a little bit of time to look it up. He was a jeweler, Jacob the jeweler, Jacob & Co. He was making jewelry in the 90s before anything big, and he got big for making the 5 time zones piece, which you could see like Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z, Rihanna, all of our favorite music stars in the early 2000s rocking it. It's a ugly, disgusting fucking watch, but it does signify it signified the next step towards gaudy watches that we as Americans have come to love, especially nowadays. And then Serena Williams, lo and behold, with the AP Royal Oak Perpetual Calendar, open work, and titanium and BMG. Mwah! Chef's kiss. This woman's watch is, oh man, perpetual dial or perpetual calendar that you only have to set every few years because of the fucking leap year. Oh my goodness, man. Just wow. Wow. With the moon phase and everything and titanium, she looks fantastic in it. Let me tell you what. I fucking love that watch. God, do I love that watch. And I love Serena Williams. Love Serena Williams. Morgan Spector wears the IWC Schaffhausen Portugiser perpetual calendar. There were a few of these perpetual calendars that really took the center stage of the entire watch affair. And that is the truth of the matter is, if you weren't gaudy and gem set, you came to play with your fucking complications this year. And that is what I mean by there is art there, but when you look at majority of it, it's money over taste. It's just money. Money. It's got this gold, what did they call it? Dune gold dial. Oh, beautiful. IWC has been stepping out and above with their perpetual calendar. They did one called the Eternal Calendar that's supposed to be accurate to like the year 22 or 2300 or something like that. That's astounding. If you kept it running the entire time, it would be running for 200 years without a single issue. It takes into account leap years. Do you have any clue how fucking cool that is to make a timepiece with nothing but gears and springs that accounts for a leap year? No technology, no nothing. All mechanics. Bad Bunny with his fucking, what is that? Vintage Cloche de Cartier, yellow gold. Terrible, terrible watch. It looks like a desk clock that they turned sideways and put on his wrist. Terrible. Jay-Z, of course. You know what? This man has a fantastic watch collection. I understand that he's touching kids, but his watch collection is beautiful. Oh my God. And of course it can be when you've got the millions to spend on this shit. He was wearing a Patek Philippe, Grand Complications, Grandmaster Chime, and white gold. This man has like 10 Grandmaster Chimes, and each one is $5 to $10 million a piece. That's, golly. And this Bulgari, never stop what you're doing, because this woman, Lisa whatever, stepped out in the Serpentine Spiga with its full white gold, full diamond set. And I know I've given shit for the diamond set earlier when I was talking about that Hublot, but this is the Serpentine bracelet actually wraps around the wrist and gives you the watch set directly on your wrist. This is a legitimate art piece. It's not like just, hey, we threw some fucking diamonds on a goddamn complication and said, it's pretty, it's pretty. Coleman Domingo wears vintage Omega Constellation mat. Yeah, that was one of my favorites of the entire night. You can't go wrong when you go vintage. You cannot go wrong when you go vintage, especially at the Met Gala. I mean, it's vintage trumps all, even if it's not in fashion. Just saying. Russell Westbrook, Rolex. He had a Rolex Daytona Rainbow, and that is a beautiful, 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 beautiful watch. It's pretty much what started the trend to all of these other motherfuckers to look like a faggot, to look like 6ix9ine, to look like they just went to a pride parade. It is a beautiful watch though, and the gem set on the Rolex Daytona with this rainbow dial or rainbow bezel is, the setting is flawless. Like, I mean, truly flawless. You could drag like a little nail around that shit and you wouldn't even begin to just find any imperfections. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Russell Wilson in a Jacob & Co. Astronomia, unimpressed by that. Hugh Jackman in a Piaget Altapon. Oh, the movie for today is Rental Family, and you know who else was wearing a Piaget in that? Brendan Fraser. He was wearing a Piaget. But it was not this. This is actually a much fancier Piaget with a moon... Wow, little moon phase where the small second should be with a tiny fucking diamond bezeling around that. Beautiful. I didn't even get to see that one. Skepta wore an AP Jumbo extra thin with yellow gold and yellow sapphires. There was a set that came out like 4 years ago, and it was like a dozen different color APs. Orange, blue, green, purple, yellow, red. I don't think this is part of that, but it was a $20 million set, and it's just, love it. Who doesn't love Canary Diamonds? Dwayne Wade wearing a Tiffany & Co. I'm not even, whatever. Paul Anthony wore a Vacheron Constantin Overseas Tourbillon titanium with the fucking burgundy dial. Yeah, bitch, with the... I love titanium watches. I'm not a fan of how deep the gray is, but how light it is, how functional it is, how resistant it is to any damage. Oh, I love titanium watches, especially when you go with an even deeper and darker dial with that shit, and that burgundy just destroy. And then Zuckerberg just wants to look cool. By the way, I know this is about to go out on all your platforms, Zucky, but you are not, for the last half a decade since he's been in the mainstream public, he has been buying up all these crazy fucking niche watches and trying to look cool for the public with the gold chain and the this, that, or the other. But you look like a lizard in jewelry. You remember that fucking, what is it? Zootopia. Lizard, 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 lizard. But it's like Zuckerberg just watch, 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 watch. And it all started with that fucking Ambani wedding, that Amdani wedding, that big Indian wedding that happened like 2 years ago that cost like $200 million or something like that, for $500 million or some shit like that for a wedding. $500 million for a wedding. You can get $30 and that is for everything. That is for my children will get $50 for the wedding. You will get the marriage certificate. I may not even cover the marriage certificate with that. You will get gas to go drive to the station to get the marriage certificate. That's what my kids are gonna get. Just kidding. I'll probably cover my kid's wedding. That's the goal anyways. You shouldn't... What the fuck? Yeah, you think I expect my kids to go into this world and have nothing? Have nothing? Jesus Christ. You know what? At least if I can't give them like a good wedding, I could give... I don't know. What am I gonna leave them? We're here in Brevard. I could probably leave them drugs. I could probably, if I stay in Brevard, I could realistically leave my children drugs, and they might be happier with that. You know, Brevard County teacher arrested for possession of controlled substance. I think that her goal was to spread her love and joy with the students. I think that a high-functioning student starts with the word hi. Come on now. Teacher identified as Teresa Pritchard Mancini, 52 of Titusville, baby. A step above and beyond. Brevard. We are Brevarders. Bump it up, bum. Brevard County, Titusville, Florida. Titusville police announced on Friday that they have arrested a Coquina Elementary School teacher after she was found in possession of a controlled substance. What's the controlled substance? Is it meth? Is it fent? Is it coke? Did they already say it was coke? What's the possession? What is this bitch got? Police arrested Police arrested Teresa Pritchard Mancini, 52 of Titusville, following a well-being check requested by Brevard Public Schools and District Security. According to the report, BPS officials had been attempting to locate Mancini for several days regarding an employment matter. What the fuck does that mean, an employment? You couldn't locate this woman? We're the north half of Brevard. While there is a lot of back roads, is not that hard to search. It is not. I don't know how we have so many missing bodies and how we have so many fucking murders that no one is able to solve. And shootings. Did anyone ever figure out what happened to that 11-year-old and who shot him? Did anyone ever figure out what happened to that baby that couple drowned? I mean that couple, you know what? We're just going to say that the couple drowned the baby. This is satire, couple. Don't sue me. But the point is you killed your baby. Where did the baby go? Bye-bye, baby. Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetops. Well, I guess in Brevard. In the bree-tops. When the wind blows, the baby smokes crack. When the crack rock goes into their lungs, out goes baby on some new drugs. Officers located Mancini at the Days Inn in room 148 during the investigation. Officers discovered a bag containing a glass pipe and approximately 1.1 grams of methamphetamine. So kids can take Adderall, but she can't do meth? Your kids can take Adderall and Ritalin, but this woman is not allowed to do meth. Where is the justice anymore? Why? What if this woman was a mother? Happy Mother's Day, bitches. Come on now. Now she gets to go to jail. At least she wasn't arrested in front of the kids. There was a woman who got into a shootout the other week in front of her kids. She should have used that baby as a shield, by the way. I definitely think that she should have followed through and just been like, Do the Elon method. Put your kid on your fucking shoulders and do that, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then sing them, Rockabye Baby, Rockabye Bree Baby in the treetops with the crack. Sing them that. That's a good lullaby. I just made it up. I'm about to patent it, though, so fuck you. It's going to be in my new book. 1 count possession of Schedule II controlled substance, methamphetamine. 1 count possession of drug paraphernalia. I don't understand what this has to... Arrested a Coquina Elementary... Okay, you know what, whatever. At this time, police say there is no evidence to indicate that any students were involved, harmed, or placed in danger, and the investigation has revealed no connection between this incident and student activity. Excuse me. Why didn't she give the kids drugs? I made a reel last week about Brevard test scores. I think if these kids had just a little bit of the old... You could see their teeth rot out of their face, but you know what? You could watch their grades go up. You know what? Most of them have baby teeth anyways. What the fuck do they need teeth for right now? Give your 6-year-old meth. Give your 6-year-old meth, and no, their teeth will go down the drain. But guess what? They're going to have their adult teeth in a couple years. So, baby, guess what? The dentist appointments are cheap. All they got to do is pressure wash the fucking gums while you're waiting. Your kid's going to be walking around, but like hyper, just like your 3-year-old, your 1-year-old is on meth and teething, just like a rabid dog. Give your kid meth is my point. You guys were giving them Ritalin and Adderall anyways. You were giving them microdosing meth. You were microdosing meth. Why wasn't she on Adderall? She could have gone and got some Sudafed and got just the same results. Mancini is currently being held at Brevard County Detention Center. The safety and well-being of our children will always remain our highest priority. Yeah, but she wasn't doing anything with the children. The children weren't on drugs. She was on drugs in her free time. She was on drugs in her free time. Is this the America we fought for? Is this the America that we are fighting for? That a woman can't do meth in her own free time? I know what Day's in there talking about. I know what Day's in. I drove by it earlier today. I drove by that shit today. Safety of the children. Safety of the children. Y'all are putting metal detectors in our kids' school. And our kids, I don't have any yet. Hopefully soon. Keep an eye out. Harem coming soon. They're placing metal detectors in the kids' schools. So, you know what? A step towards the prison system is a step towards safety, I say. That's how we should look at this. While this incident did not involve any students, we take every situation seriously and work closely with our school partners to ensure a safe and secure environment for everyone on campus. Well, you know what? You didn't secure anything safe for anyone. You ruined a good high for a good woman who was doing nothing. I want to know what the record was like for her students. She was influencing young minds. She was molding them into being the good, salt of the earth community that Brevard is known for being. Do you know what I like? She was just molding them and just shaping them up like clay and just like digging her fingers in the top of their skull like a baby with a soft spot and just mold and mold and mold, and they just build them up and build them up. And now this woman's been building them up, and you're just gonna smash them all down like this with a hammer, just bing, bing. And then you're gonna give that baby a fucking soft spot in the top. Well, it already had it. You're gonna put a crater in the baby's head. Shout out a few people I know. The point is, this woman was building children up. What are you doing by taking her out of their lives? They're going to go to school on, today's Friday. Today is Friday. They're going to go to school and say, where's Mrs. Mancini? Where's Mrs. Mancini? Mrs. Mancini is on meth. Mrs. Mancini is on methamphetamines. I'm sorry. What do you want from me, Toby? I'm sorry. No one around here is named Toby. Everyone is named fucking Jacob and Tyler and Dylan and Tiffany and Taylor and Brooke and all this. I know like 10 of each of these people. 10 of each of them. And I mean that without any joke in my heart. They, like all of them. Like 40 Alyssas. Like 40 of them. And there's like 80 Jermaines in this fucking county too. And like 300, and I mean this, at least 300 Susans. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Miss Mancini is on meth. And so is this guy. Brevard County Sheriff's Office, DEA, busted alleged meth dealer and meth around and find out counterfeit Adderall operation. You see, this is who Mrs. Mancini should have gone to. I guess maybe not, but would you rather be busted with fake Adderall or methamphetamine? I'm waiting for you to answer. Can any of you tell me what you would prefer to have on your record? No, I didn't think so. So don't judge before you take a hit of their meth. God damn. You know, Miss Mancini, you should have really thought twice about this, and so should have this guy. Welcome to another edition of Meth Around and Find Out. Today we talk about Owen Riley Evans, who was target of a recent joint operation between the BCSO Special Investigations Unit and our great partners of the DEA. This case actually started back in November 2025 when our agency received information that Evans was a significant supplier of methamphetamine and counterfeit pills. Oh my God, did Mrs. Mancini give him up? You're telling me Bonnie and Clyde, Bonnie is snitching? Well, I guess it would be more like Melissa and Methandrew or something like that. You know what I mean? The point is, as our agents began to look at his activities, we organized the purchase of $1,000 worth of counterfeit Adderall pills. The scary part is that Evans and his little drug trafficking friends were pressing these Adderall pills to just look like prescription pills, yet they contained meth. That is a great way to disguise your meth. That is a great way to disguise your meth. Why are they not making fake Advil? Oh my God, start giving people fake Advil pressed like meth. Are you kidding me? You just said... Would you rather pop your meth or would you rather smoke your meth? If there's one thing I've learned from Breaking Bad, most people would prefer to smoke it. Most people would prefer to smoke it. The deal was subsequently completed. Hold on. Well, anyways, on the day of the scheduled meetup, Evans only produced $300 worth of the pills, but offered to meet up on a later date to sell us some meth as well. The deal was subsequently completed, and agents made the purchase of $300 for 266 pills, which weighed approximately 110 grams, and field tested positive for meth. God damn, how much is that a pill? Here, hold on. I shouldn't be this curious, but just 266 pills for $300? That's $1.12 a pill. That's $1.12 a pill. Do you know how much money you could have made off of? Do you know how much money you could make off of? Wow. $1.12 a fucking pill? And it's all meth? Bro, are you... I'm not saying anyone should go out of their way to sell meth. No one should go out of their way to sell drugs ever. No one should do anything like that. But realistically, think about this. If you were selling them for $5 a pip, 266 pills, you know what I'm saying? 266 fucking pills, $5 a pip. Motherfucker, that's $13.30 a goddamn run. Oh, and that's all meth. Baby sweet child, that was so much money. Sorry, I'm not trying to get in my... I feel like that episode of Adventure Time where Jake is like, I know what it's like shystering people and making $10 a day. And the kids are like, $10? We make $200 a day. And Jake's just like, $200 a day? $200 a day? Holy cow, $200 a day. That's how I feel right now. $1.12 for a pill of meth. $1.12 for a pill of meth. Do you know how much pills are in this town? They are not cheap. Nothing pill form is cheap in this town. So to get that much meth, As you might imagine, an arrest warrant was written for Owens, and our agents went out and snatched him up and so he could sit behind bars, which is exactly where drug dealers belong. This was yet another investigation by our agents in partnership with the DEA as well to keep our community safe. I want to personally thank Agent Josh Ellison and everyone who put in all the hard work on the investigation, getting the drugs and drug dealers off our streets and behind bars. Sheriff Wayne Ivey. You know what? All I'm hearing is that you guys are stopping people from having a good time. All I'm hearing is that you guys know how to kill a vibe. That is literally what I'm hearing, is that meth around and find out. How about meth around and have a better Monday? How about meth around and have a good weekend? How about meth around and I can drive however the fuck I want on I-95 instead of getting arrested the very second I touch 100 miles per hour, Wayne Ivey? How about meth around and I get to enjoy my meth? How about I meth around and enjoy my meth? Huh? What if I want to give my 2-year-old that's teething meth and just, I want a rabid dog neighbor. I want a rabid neighbor dog kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there was that baby, like the Dave Chappelle joke. I keep running it back to it because it's one of my fucking favorite jokes about kids. But imagine, imagine there's a kid on the corner, it's fucking, but it's got no teeth. No teeth. The teeth started to come in, but the meth rotted the teeth out. And so the baby's just sitting there on the corner, just fucking bugging. It just took a hit of meth and it's trying to figure out how to mug you to get another hit. This baby's 2 years old, by the way, and you're like, baby, are you okay? And things just, it doesn't even like talk to you. It just goes, and it fucking just starts sprinting at you, and the little just, and then next thing you know, it's just, fucking a meth baby is like trying to rip into your fucking car while you're driving away. It's like The Walking Dead or 28 Days Later or something. You're driving in a fucking semi truck and there's like 40 fucking 2-year-olds sprinting at you, all in diapers with fucking rotted teeth out, wide red eyes, and their fucking skin bone like they look like little African children with how thin, little Jewish children in the Holocaust type thin, and they're just sprinting at you, wide eyes, these little cracker babies running at you with full meth. They're gonna meth around and murder you. Meth around and found out. You know, we keep saying meth around and found out, but you know, the truth is, you do meth. I haven't heard, none of these people were, how do the kids say, crashing out. No one was crashing out on meth. But it seems as though Melbourne happens to be crashing out a lot lately. Melbourne woman dies in fatal crash on South Babcock Street after pickup truck crosses median. See, we take the Mexicans out of the driver's seat. Jesus, take the wheel! And then all of a sudden, our semi-truck drivers are killing people. They're not even on meth. These are our normal, good, properly hired U.S. citizen owning, whatever your citizenship owning, passport not have, whatever the case is, whatever you want to call them. We take out Jesus from the wheel, and then now Jessica gets killed. The victim's identity has not yet been released by FHP. Yeah, because they probably couldn't find the face after the accident. Have you guys ever seen any of these semi-truck accidents? Just whing. I've seen cars go under semi-trucks. When you see a car go under a semi-truck, you just start assuming anyone who hits a semi-truck is dead. You just never assume anything good out of it. Can you? It's like watching your 110-pound homie go home with the 300-pound girl. You know what I mean? Like, have y'all ever watched Norbit? Y'all ever watch Norbit? Rasputia just, oh Lord, fucking sprinting at him. That is a big bitch. That's a big bitch. That's a big bitch. I dated a bitch that big. Let me tell you what. I dated a white Rasputia. But she was a sweet woman. She's a sweet woman. Shout out to, I'm not going to say names. But yeah, point is, we love big girls around here. You know what I'm saying? But without the proper person manning the wheel of that big bitch, somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna die. Police say, hold on. A woman is dead following a violent 2-vehicle crash Thursday night on South Babcock Street near University Boulevard, according to Melbourne Police Department. Police say officers responded at approximately 10 p.m. on April 30th after receiving multiple 911 calls reporting a serious crash in the area of Babcock Street and University Boulevard. Where I was just there that weekend. Excuse me. Could have been me. That could have been me. I can't explain to you the fear I get around semi-trucks. It's like, imagine if you were walking next to somebody at Disney. You know what I mean? One of those like land whale type things. And then you're just like, whew. Every time it steps to the side and you see the woo, 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 just jiggle slightly towards you, you hold your breath. That's how I get around semi-truck drivers. Especially now that we don't have any Mexicans behind the wheel. We have lost so many good Jesuses and Josues. How could they ever take the wheel now? Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands, drive it to Florida, fill the truck with meth, Police officers say responding at hold on. When officers arrived, they discovered one of the vehicles that had been overturned while another had been forced off the roadway and onto the sidewalk, killing 30 people on the sidewalk, but they only happened to be meth babies, so it was okay. No one was actually killed on the sidewalk. Preliminary investigators say a Ford F-350 traveling southbound on South Babcock Street crossed the median into the northbound lanes and collided with a 2016 Kia Soul. What the fuck? That bitch is dead. I know it said she was dead, but do you guys have any clue how dead someone is after being in a Kia Soul and being rammed by an F-350? Jesus, take the wheel. Brevard County Fire Rescue transported the driver of the Kia to a local hospital where she later succumbed to her injuries. The crash shut down all lanes of traffic in the area for several hours as officers conducted investigation, cleared the scene. Authorities have not released any of the names involved pending next of kin notification and ongoing investigation. Hold on. I gotta know, when did this happen? April 30th. It is May 8th, and we still don't have an... This means that they can't contact the next of kin, or it means that they're gonna sue if they release the information. I just gotta say... It's so much funnier if they're trying to get a hold of this woman's family and they're like, can you come identify her by the skid marks she left on the ground? And her family's like, they're just like having full mental breakdowns, but they're like, ma'am, your daughter is there, and there. Can you please help identify which is her and which was the other driver? Ma'am. Was the woman in the Kia Soul, did she have a sex wax air freshener? Was she having... No? Okay, so that was the other driver. Did she have a black ice air freshener? Okay. Did she have 4 scrunchies on the turn signal shaft? Yeah, because this is something Florida women do. They take off their scrunchies and their hair ties and they just put that shit on the fucking steering column. They love to do this shit. Did she happen to have a fuzzy steering wheel? Okay. The reason we're asking you this is because most of her physical parts are non-discernible, but the items in the car are still okay. Would you like those? I'm sorry, that's so bad. The Melbourne Police Department Traffic Enforcement Unit is continuing to investigate the fatal crash. What is there to investigate? Somebody drove, somebody died. Somebody drove, somebody died. Somebody drove, somebody died. Melbourne is fucking crashing now. 23-year-old Melbourne man dies in 2-vehicle crash on South Route, 2 others killed. So... Melbourne, your driving record is getting as bad as Coco's. Every week I read about Coco drivers hitting bicyclists, but now, all of a sudden, in 1 week, Melbourne has everything from murderers to car crashes to pedophile. Are you guys trying to put yourselves on the StormWatch radar? Be honest, are you guys trying to put yourselves on my radar? I like it. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. I like this. This is how we should be spent. For Mother's Day, the theme is meth, mayhem, and Melbourne. Hold on. Meth, mayhem, and murders in Melbourne. 23-year-old Melbourne... Oh, yeah, I already read that. Melbourne, Florida. Florida Highway Patrol announced on Monday that a 23-year-old Melbourne man was among those killed in a 2-vehicle crash on Monday morning. On State Road 40 near Lake Winona Road in Volusia County. That's Brevard. If you're in Melbourne, you're in Brevard. That's not how this works. State troopers say the crash happened Monday, 8:58 a.m. when the driver in a 2023 Honda HR-V was traveling eastbound on South Route 40, failed to negotiate a curve, causing the vehicle to enter the westbound lane directly onto the path of a 2021 Ford Expedition. What is with the Fords being taken out? Are you trying to prove how tough you are? Because I'm not hearing about... These Fords seem to be able to be driven off the lot. Even if the person died, they're okay. Is this a new Ford advertisement? I like it. You're taking it a step above Red Bull. If Red Bull had any balls, they would have someone jump from the atmosphere without a parachute. If they do it with a superhero landing, I don't care if they die on impact. They get a plaque for the rest of their life in every sports facility around the world at that point. The driver, hold on. Authorities said the Honda's front struck the Ford's front in a devastating collision. The driver of the Honda, identified as 22-year-old man from Port Orange and two passengers, 22-year-old woman from Gainesville and 23-year-old Melbourne man inside the vehicle, were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Ford and four passengers were transported to the Halifax Medical Center with serious injuries. The crash remains under investigation. What is there to investigate? Somebody drove, somebody crashed. Somebody drove, somebody crashed. There was another day where I couldn't find it, but somebody else had hit a couple of cops too. They took out like 2 motorcycle cops out here in Brevard. They're just like, somebody drove, somebody died. What is there to investigate? Are they gonna say AI did it? Are they gonna say this person was on meth when they were in these car accidents? No, it's not Miss Mancini. You can't go and blame them for the meth. Whatever. Melbourne, y'all are crashing out and killing it with the kids, I guess. Casey James Caudle, 29, of Melbourne, gets life in federal prison for enticing minors to engage in sexual activity. Killing it with the kids. U.S. Attorney Gregory W. Kehoe, protecting children from exploitations is a sacred duty. According to who? Because Moloch is a sacred creature. Baal is a sacred person. Abezu is a sacred person, and you sacrifice children to them. Look at Jeff. Look at Bill. Look at Bill. Look at other Jeff. Look at Hill. I love that all they're ill. Look at Elon. Look at all of these people who we love and revere so much. Friends of the show, fans of the show. I'm fans of them and their work too. Killing it with the kids. U.S. Attorney Gregory W. Kehoe, those who target and exploit and abuse children should know that we will leave no stone unturned to bring them to justice. Well, as you should. As you should. If there's anything we learned from the movie Prisoners, is you should check every fucking stone possible. Because next thing you know, it's going to be Hugh Jackman trapped underground with his Piaget on. Orlando, Florida, Casey James Caudle, 29, of Melbourne, has been sentenced by the U.S. District Attorney Judge Ann Leigh Gaylord Moe. What the fuck is this name? Ann Leigh Gaylord Moe to life in federal prison for coercing and enticing minors to engage in sexual activity. Well, that's fair. Caudle pleaded guilty on August 5th, 2025, but the United States Attorney Gregory W. Kehoe made the announcement according to the United States Attorney, Middle District of Florida, who went on to say, according to court documents in August 2024, Caudle persuaded, induced, enticed, and coerced a minor to engage in the production of sexual abuse material. In addition, between August 10th and 12th, 2024, Caudle persuaded, induced, and enticed or coerced another minor to engage in the production of child sexual abuse material. Doesn't he know AI is on the rise? Couldn't he have just done it that way? I know I normally say don't outsource your pedophiling to like AI, but I need to ask you guys, should we outsource our pedophiles to AI? Or should we keep allowing humans to be pedophiles? You can't stop either one. And this is the problem, you can't stop either one. So I need you to pick and choose what it is you believe is the better route. Do we have AI pedophiles who target young AI, and then we have to start a crime unit for that? Or we have AI attacking minor children? Or do we just leave some of the pedophiles alive? It's like a balance thing, you know what I mean? You have to leave some of the rats alive, yeah? You can't just kill them all. It's an ecosystem. You can't just kill all the rats. How are you going to spread hantavirus to cruise liners? How will you spread hantavirus to cruise liners without rats? Just like pedophiles. How will you have a fully functioning, running world if you do not have someone to sell the missing children to? What's the point of having a missing child if you're not selling them to someone? What's the point of having any of this? Whatever. The victims were both located in the Philippines. Okay, so we outsource our Waymo drivers to the Philippines, and now our pedophiles are going to the Philippines. The Philippines is about to be a big thing here in the news over the next couple weeks. I'm getting a hint of this. It's a whiff in the air. I can smell the Asian Mexico. I can smell the bulgogi. I can smell it all, can't you? I can smell the cooked dog. According to the court documents in August 2024, oh wait, hold on. We're both out of the Philippines. Cottle sent money to the children's caregiver via PayPal in exchange for videos and images of child sexual abuse material. CSAM, child sexual abuse material, involving her child 7 and 12. Wow. This guy was on his way to be a new Jeff. You know what? I think he's taking lessons, and you should take lessons from your elders. Now, is this a lesson that people should generally try to take? No, but I think he's doing good, and he has a mentor. Okay. Wouldn't you want a cobbler to look at one of the great cobblers and study their work before making your shoes? Think of it. Our pedophiles are like shoemakers. Do you know what I mean? In their eyes, one size fits all. You get what I mean? And the smaller, the better. Like in The Devil Wears Prada. 2 is the new 4, 0 is the new 2. 2 is the new 21. You know what I mean? 7 is the new 21. Or no, 7 is the new 18, 12 is the new 21. That's his methodology. And now, I'm not necessarily behind it, but is she getting charged with any of this as well? That is my next question. That is a crazy Those who target, exploit, and abuse children should know that we will leave no stone unturned to bring them to justice. You already said that. I applaud our law enforcement partners for their diligence and cooperation in investigating this case beyond our borders. Protecting children from exploitation is a sacred duty, and it is through unwavering collaboration, determination, and courage that law enforcement agencies across the globe are able to locate and rescue victims of these heinous crimes from monsters and bring them to justice, said HSI Jacksonville's Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Tim Hemker. This level of accountability demonstrates the power of partnership and relentless commitment of HSI Orlando, HSI Manila, HSI Portland, Maine, and Brevard County Sheriff. What the fuck does Portland, Maine have to do with any of this stuff? And Brevard County Sheriff's Office to safeguard the most vulnerable members of the community. This case was investigated by Homeland Security Investigations, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and the Florida Department of Corrections Probation. Okay, it's just more people. It was prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorneys Kaylee Austin Aronson and Patrick Flanagan. This case was brought as part of the protection. Okay, so this is just giving me more details about who fucking caught the guy. And you know what? Floridians are good with kids. It's all out of the face. I think what's the craziest part is he's pushing PP in the Philippines. He's pushing PP in the Philippines. He's taking it a step beyond Young Thug and Gunna, who's pushing P, and he's pushing PP onto little people. I don't know. I think the Philippines really has a lot going for it, especially considering the fact that a Disney cruise liner was just, molesting kids out of the Philippines or something like that. But we'll get to that here in a second. We're taking a breather. We'll be right back, guys.
Welcome back. So sorry. I had to take a piece. Welcome back. Where do we leave off? Oh yes. It was a pedophile. It was so many a pedophile. So many Disney pedophile.
All of you Disney loving fat fucking retards owe me an apology at some point, because all of the amount of child sex trafficking rings and child porn rings and managers who are exploiting children or making deals, and allegedly Ghislaine Maxwell was apparently a part of it. By the way, Ghislaine Maxwell was a Disney recruiter at some point for the Disney Mickey Mouse Clubhouse shit, and they would take them on cruises to Little St. James. Hey guys, we're going on a snorkeling adventure, except you get to swim in Jeffrey's cum. Yay! And that's like a 6-year-old. They're like, we get to see Mickey! But instead, the only Mickey ears that you get is when his balls are on your fucking head and you can just see the round on top. Do you know what I mean? There is no actual Disney. You get Goofy when they drug you on the Epstein Island from Disney. I think it's something about the tunnel there that just makes it easy to get kids out. And then there's the one road that leads directly to the Space Coast right off of there. And I mean, you can look this all up. Go on Google Maps when I'm telling you all this. It is no more than a 45-minute to an hour drive from Disney to the cruise line, and it's pretty easy. And there are kids that go missing out of Disney quite often. They usually just buy it off and they silence that stuff because guess what? They can manage it. This is probably not even going to be breaking news for anyone here in Florida because of the fact that they were arrested in San Diego or some shit like that. But guess what, motherfuckers? It is prevalent because this is all of Disney. Several years ago, not even several years, every 365 days, there are at least 3 to 5 pedophile rings or management fuck-ups or somebody is diddling kids coming out of Disney. Have you noticed everyone's diddling kids? Everyone is diddling kids. Either they're framing people, there are a lot more pedophiles than we thought, they're framing people, or Disney really just needs to... they really need to reevaluate who they hire because this is just starting to get a little bit out of hand. I understand hiring the mentally disabled, but MAPs don't count as mentally disabled. Those are just pedophiles. Those are not things that count as mental disability. I understand that they didn't get to enjoy their childhood because, like Michael Jackson, they were beaten and molested and stuff. And so they wanted to go to Never Never Land and all that stuff. So I understand when there's a 45-year-old who wants to go to Disney just because they want to relive the glory days of when they were a kid, and they just want to be a kid again. They just want to be a kid again. They just want to be a kid again. That's the problem with Americans. They always look into the past. Everyone is always so anxious to go into the past and get molested. Like, I don't understand. Why are we pushing this, how do you say, slop, where they call it like goy slop and stuff like that. Now it's Disney slop. You see, I'm getting hip on the lingo. I'm getting in tune with you crazy kids and your fucking jive lingo. I can jokes max with you kids. Just like they can pedomax in Disney. That's the new term. It's pedomaxing. And it all started with Jeffrey. He made it fun. And now everyone is taking advantage of it. It's not like go ride the rides at Disney. It's go ride someone who's riding the ride at Disney. And that is not okay. You should not be putting your children on the lap of somebody in Disney. That is not okay. But guess what? Here we are. CBP, the Customs and Border Patrol, arrests 27 cruise line workers in San Diego. I read on another one, it was 28. So I think they're trying to cover this up already by one. Just like those fucking Israeli tech workers that were arrested in fucking Las Vegas a few months ago. We're not going to let that story die, who are not going to be extradited to here, but we're meeting up with teenagers. Going to keep that alive. CBP arrests 27 cruise line workers in San Diego as part of a child sexual exploitation investigation. Sexploitation is actually a perfect way to describe that. And just in time for Mother's Day. You know what? Now your children don't have anyone. Now they can spend their Mother's Day with you. Instead of being trafficked, they can spend the Mother's Day with their mother at Disney still. Because they're not going to leave. They're going to stay there and make sure they get their money's worth. I understand that little Jimmy was touched on. It's a small world after all. And it is a small world after all. But let's be honest here. We're just going to go and ride the teacups for a little bit until he forgets about it. We're going to spin his little brains into oblivion. And then we're going to keep on at Disney. Because I am 50. I've had 6 tequila shots. And I would just love it if the rest of this trip was covered. That would be okay with me if you just... Could we just have the rest of this trip covered? I think that would even the things out. I think that might even the odds. It's just here. Free Disney trip. You never know. Come on now. This is what Ghislaine was marketing. This is what she was marketing. Free Disney passes for mommy and daddy as long as you give up the little kids to be diddled. On Jeffrey's Island. He's an island boy just trying to fuck kids. He's an island boy just pedo slopping. Oh, wait, hold on. Pedo maxing. This is the way of the pedo world. They pedo max. The arrest occurred on several cruise ships that had docked in San Diego late last month. It's only been like a week and a half, maybe 2. I don't even think that, a week to 2. 2 weeks. An ongoing investigation into child sexploitation material led to an arrest of 27 crew members aboard several cruise ships in San Diego, a U.S. Customs and Border Protection spokesperson said. News of the incident emerged Tuesday when a video taken April 23rd appeared to show federal agents placing crew members in a van in B Street Pier parking lot B Street Pier parking lot. Some of the workers were from a Disney cruise that had just docked, according to eyewitness who just disembarked from the ship. That's a great way to move your product around, I'm just saying. It's just, you can fit a lot of kids on those cruise liners. You can fit a lot of fucking kids on those cruise liners. And only a few people can actually afford to be on the ship, so like, it's mostly crew and kids. The perfect combo, crew and kids and caviar and cocaine. See that I'm not saying that they had the right idea, but they did know how to party. Do you know what I mean? They took it a step beyond, like a couple steps beyond what I imagine I and most other people would be willing to consider a party, but they knew how to party. They knew how to take a cruise. My family goes on these boring fucking cruises where it's like, oh my God, we went and stopped in this tourist trap in Mexico and this tourist trap in Haiti and stuff like that. And it was so beautiful and it was so amazing. And My family's cruise people. I'll tell you guys a little bit about my family here shortly. I love you guys, by the way, but just know, as a comedian, I have to speak my truth, not just about how I feel about the world, but about myself. And I think it's up to you guys to save some space for me so that way I can speak my piece. So I can speak my piece on the matter. I can't even fucking keep that out. Yeah, beware. I'm gonna treat y'all like that methed out 2-year-old. And ongoing and wait, hold on. The operation took place April 23rd to April 27th. It took you that many days to catch 27 pedophiles? They couldn't figure out if there was 26 or 27 pedophiles. 26, 27. I'm so sorry. I can't every time. I don't I just sorry, I'm jokes maxing and I'm hip lingo maxing. See, now I'm maxing. By putting maxing on everything, I'm maxing the maxers and maxing. Oh, that one hurt. I think I have an aneurysm coming. Oh, I can like feel that one happening. The CBP spokesperson said that after boarding 8 vessels, agents interviewed 28 individuals and determined that all but one were allegedly involved in either the receipt, possession, transportation, distribution, or viewing of child sexploitation material or child pornography. Can you imagine getting round up with all the pedophiles and you're completely innocent? They're just like, he looks like he touches kids. Do you have any proof of this? No, just look at him. They look the same. Just round and too much acne and frumpy and homely and disgusting. And they always smell like cheese, but not like good cheese, like government cheese that was left on the underside of a bus where homeless people slept. It was just that guy. But it just turns out he's down on his luck. His wife just left him. He had a bad meth addiction, and he was trying to get his shit figured out, so he took a job for this cruise liner, and he hasn't been able to shower for the last couple of days because he's been on the cruise, and everything has just been crazy. He's been dumping trash off the back of the cruise because when children are getting molested, there's so much that goes into it. There's so much that goes into it. There's so much lube, and there's like packaging for all the SD cards so they can record everything, and there's rope and trash bags in case you have to dump anything, and it's just, there's a lot of trash that goes into child sexploitation. He just happened to be there throwing the trash out when they were dumping they dropped the trash off, he threw the trash out, and now all of a sudden, he's part of it. Poor Edgar is part of this entire investigation, and he was just down on his fucking luck for 1 month. That's all this took. 1 month. See, all of us are one bad day away just from winding up where maybe where Erica Kirk is. But we're always one bad month away from being Edgar. and being homeless and on meth, but still working for the cruise liners out here because this is your only way of finding anywhere to live and your only way of making any money. That's so shitty. Imagine getting arrested. You just look around, you're like, oh my God, I did nothing. I did not touch keys. Because it was from the Philippines. Oh, we haven't gotten to that part yet. But it was something about the Philippines and the Filipinos. And again, they keep coming around. They're just making... Oh, yeah, here we go. Officials said 26 of the crew members interviewed were from the Philippines, while one was from Portugal and another from Indonesia. So the Filipinos are controlling the Waymos, and they're controlling the child sexploitation here in America? Are we outsourcing from AI? We're outsourcing our pedophiles and our Waymo tech to the Philippines. Why do the Philippines have so much access to us currently? What does this make sense? Okay, Trevor, my brother. Okay, your wife is Filipino. Is there something that she is not telling you about what is going on in her country? Because this is crazy. This is crazy. The Philippines is controlling our self-driving cars, and they're controlling the transportation of children. We've placed way too much hand in this third world. We've placed way too much stock in this third world to run things for us Americans. This is not okay. Disney, you need to fix your shit. CBP canceled the visas of those allegedly involved and deported the suspects to their countries of citizenship, the spokesperson said. So they're arrested in they're arrested in motherfucking America, and they get deported back to the Philippines, where I gotta look this up. What's the age of consent in the Philippines? Let's see this. What is the age of consent in the Philippines? 16. Okay. Why is is 16 a legal age in the Philippines? What country has 12-year-old age of consent? Why was Japan's age of consent 30? Is 17 considered an adult in the Philippines? Why are these the most... People also ask this. This is what Google is saying. People also ask? Hold on. So it was only in 2022 that they raised the age of consent from 12. You know what? Maybe they just don't understand here. Maybe they just don't understand. They're not up to date on the laws. Maybe they don't watch the news, and maybe the thing is they're just translation error. You know what I mean? 12 is the new 21. Did we not read the first article? Or one of the first articles? 7 is the new 18. 12 is the new 21. Come on now. This is... At least this is the way of the Philippines. I'm so sorry. This is so... Holy shit. But my point is that they're going to get charged a lot less in their native countries than they would have here. I mean, it's not like they're going to get charged here anyways. We're not arresting any of our pedophiles. But I mean, we're just letting them run in office at this point. We're just letting them take power. And can we free R. Kelly? If we can have pedophiles running the U.S. government, can we please free R. Kelly so I can go to his concert live? Please, 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 please. I have 3 years to figure out how to get R. Kelly out of jail for my dirty 30, so that way he can perform there. Please. I understand that this is a crazy request, U.S. government, but Donnie, can you please pardon R? Can you please pardon Kells? Please. Can you please pardon the Pied Piper of R&B? I believe he can free R. Kelly. Please, free R. Kelly. Come on now. We have zero tolerance policy for this type of behavior and fully cooperated with the law enforcement, a Disney spokesperson said Thursday in a statement. While the majority of these individuals were not from our cruise line, those who are no longer with the company, allegedly. My thing is, how often, why is this something that has to come out annually there? Well, it's the perfect trap for children. You know what I mean? You could fatten them up, put them on a ride, give their parents a few shots and a few beers, while their kids are going around the merry-go-round. Yeah, Dumbo's fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate that kid. Fuck, I wish I never had it. These Disney trips cost me fucking all my savings. But at least the brat's doing good in school. Oh, I hate him. He looks just like his stupid fucking cunt mother. Oh, I hate her. I pay child support. I take Disney trips. 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 Mary's my best friend. I pay Disney trips and take child support. I hate that stupid bitch. Oh, get the fuck off me. Go ride the ride again. Oh. Jesus Christ. A little bit of meth might liven me up right now, but holy... Jalen, where are you at? Jalen... Oh, sorry, your name's Jaden. Jaden! Where are you at? Your stupid bitch mother's name was Jalen. Jade! Ah, fuck. And then Ghislaine walks up to you and pats you on the shoulder. Hello, love. Did you really want your child? No, I didn't. I just wanted to go on. That bitch that said she was on birth control and she lied. And she lied. Well, love. Well, darling. How about, what if we took the child off your hands and we said that they went missing? Just, you turned your head for 30 seconds and you could no longer, they just couldn't be found. Okay. All right. I can explain that one. That makes sense to me. Okay. How much does this get me? Well, all your Disney trip for the rest of the weekend is completely paid for, and you get to go to Benihana's. You get to go on a trip to Benihana's. You get to watch the chef do the little, and then they flip the shrimp into the hair, darling. They flip the shrimp into the hair, love. It's really the hat, but it's into the hat, love. Okay, that's good. Any cash out of this? We're covering your flight back, and you get $10,000 hush money. All you have to do is sign an NDA, and if you ever talk, we will make sure that you disappear, and anyone else you ever love will go missing too. They will become shark food. Do you understand, love? Okay, hell yeah. I'm probably not even gonna remember this conversation afterward. Hell yeah. Let me put on my glasses. Oh my goodness. Oh my, whew. All right. And then the child is gone. Poor Jaden. Poor Jaden. I'm sorry. We have zero tolerance for the... Oh, yeah. CBP did not identify the cruise ships. Why did they not identify the cruise ships? Maybe people should be paying attention to what cruise lines not to take. Maybe they should be paying attention to what ships not to be on. Maybe they should know what the names of these people are and maybe who was associated with them. How long were they working there? Can we get any more information other than you arrested 27 alleged child porn-bearing pedophiles? Please. We have enough of those in Brevard. Do you think that's anything to us? Do you think that is anything to us? No, there was a child sexploitation, sex trafficking ring that I just read about every week. What? Just out of up the road. What are you? Some of the arrested crew members were reportedly from a Holland America Line ship, according to the local organizations that reported the arrests. On Tuesday, the company referred questions to CBP. Some community organizations sought information from the federal officials as the incidents were initially believed to be related to immigration enforcement. What the fuck does this? Why does it have to do with it? What does ICE have to do with anything? You can't blame them for everything. Just because they shoot a few black people and Spanish people and arrest children doesn't mean that they're pedophiles. Just because they were raping some of the women in those ICE detention centers does not mean that they were pedophiles. Just because Customs and Border Patrol is known for being dirty and smuggling drugs across does not mean that they are pedophiles. Give me the Erica Kirk eyes. Oh, they're burned. Oh. How does she do that? I put in eye drops like twice a day, and I couldn't do that if I put it in 5 times. That woman is going to go blind by the time she is 45, and she's already getting up there. Erica, you're getting up there, and you need to lay off some of that fucking face widening, whatever. You and Jenna Ortega need to lay off the mewing. It's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for you. It's probably all that jaw tension from holding in the lies about her husband being assassinated. Takes a lot of restraint to keep a mouth like that shut on certain things. Doesn't it? Oh, I can't do that again. Ow, that actually hurts. Some community organizers... Oh, wait, we already read that part. Adriana Hassel. There's a Jasso, so Hassel. Of the American Friends Service Committee in San Diego said that after learning about the arrest, they contacted CBP and the cruise companies, but did not receive a response. She said they were asking federal agency to provide information about the investigation. Can you imagine calling the cruise companies and you're just, this is the greatest thing, and you get no response. It's because now you can screen calls, so you know that they're listening half the time. Hey, this is a little bit awkward, but a lot of your people are coming back molesting kids between the ages of 6 and 7. And this isn't good. You guys got to get on this. We need you can't drop the ball on this one. You're not Epstein with the balls on the kid's head for doing the Mickey Mouse thing. You can't drop the ball on this. We need you to come forward about this. Please. If you can give me a call back, my number is 555-555-555-555. Beep. I'm sorry. The Harbor Police Department released a statement on Tuesday stating they were not involved in the reported enforcement actions and had not received any calls. Wait, hold on. What? The Harbor Police Department released a statement on Tuesday stating they were not involved in the reported enforcement actions and had not received any calls for the service related to the incident. This is what I say about I don't know, debt collection. When somebody calls you for that, you just screen the call and say they never called. You know what I mean? This is that old friend, old ex that you avoid and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, I called you the other day. You run into them at Publix or something. For all the people who are not from Florida, Publix is a grocery store. And it's a fantastic store. Beautiful store. Wonderful store. Very green. Some of the workers are hot sometimes. Sometimes they're not. A lot of time they're old. A lot of time they're disabled. But clearly the Disney workers are too. Where was I going with this? Publix. Where did I start? Ah, fuck. All right, here, hold on. Not involved. Enforcement actions, had not received any calls. Oh, yeah, this is what you do to that, ex-friend, ex-ex that you run into the store. They're like, hey, I've been calling you. What's up with that? And they're like, what are you talking about? And you've already deleted it out of your, call log history. And you're like, see? I have no calls. I'm so sorry. It's just, are you calling the right number? And then they call you right there and it immediately starts ringing and you're just like, Well, I'm sorry. This is awkward. But this time it's about pedophiles. The B Street Cruise Terminal is a federal port of entry where law enforcement authority for immigration and customs matter rests with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The statement reads in part, as such, any enforcement actions taken of onboard vessels or within federal inspection or area falls under CBP jurisdiction. You know what's funny? All of the pedophiles keep getting extradited to these other countries, but any other time ICE has arrested anyone, including the children, no one is released or deported anytime soon. There's still a lot of them in jail, or detention centers. You think they truly emptied Alligator Alley fully? Or Alligator Alcatraz fully? Come on. You think they emptied out Do you think they emptied out Alligator Alcatraz just like that overnight? Just all of those Cubans just like missile dust. But they're Cuban missile dust. It's not the Cuban Missile Crisis, it's Cuban missile dust. You know what? There is some good news to this, though. At least those children will be able to spend time with their family. They will be able to cry to their family and say, I hate you for abandoning me. Why did you let me get touched? But they get to do that to their parents. And when they get older, they can consider maybe renting new parents. Just like in the movie Rental Family. That is the movie. That's why I'm dressed like this. I'm dressed like a Brendan Fraser. And before we get into that, I'm going to tell y'all what I mean about my family being the perfect American melting pot. Because I feel like I really haven't given y'all much background about who I am and all this stuff. For those of you who are new to the episode, my name is Tyler Storm. And I'm an oil man. I'm a podcast man. I'm a man of technology, if you can tell. I'm really not. But I'm a man who is of native Italian, English, Irish, Jewish, and some random other bullshit in their descent. I am a mutt, if you will. I come from a mutt family tree. And this is what I mean by my family is the perfect American melting pot. My father is native and English. My mother is Italian and Irish and Jewish and some other shit. And me and my siblings, we're fucked. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. We have so much mix and diversity in my family. We have Asians, we have gay, we have black, we have Italian, we got the like mixed assortment of white, we got the mixed different kind of black, we got did I already say native? Probably I already said that shit. We've got redneck, we've got rich, we've got broke, we've got everything in my family. My aunt is Jamaican, Chinese, Italian, and she's with a black guy, so they have the most beautiful little African baby, by the way. Shout out to my aunt, my uncle. Y'all have a beautiful baby. And little African thing. My cousin and my uncle are fags. They're awesome. Love you guys. Completely awesome. My grandmother is a wasp. And as waspy as they come, like pure Anglo-Saxon, blue-eyed, blonde hair wasp woman. That woman looked like she would have been a perfect Aryan child. Absolutely beautiful. My aunt is, my other aunt, Florida Seminole and English. We got a whole bunch of like mix. My grandfather is Jamaican and Chinese. Like, I can't explain it to you any other way, but it's like if America in the early 2000s just like pissed out a family and it was just like, this was us. We have family that was in the military. Several of my cousins, my great-grandfather was Italian and is a Marine. You're always a Marine, even when you go down, Semper Fi. Marines don't die, they just regroup in hell. And, little bit of mix. My family is just as fun and fucky as any other family could potentially be. My mother is a psychopathic, neurotic woman, and that's as fantastic as it can get. I mean, she's borderline batshit crazy. That woman builds small houses, so that should tell you a lot of what you actually need to know. My father is a narcissistic alkie. I'm just telling you guys the fun things about them, the things that make them special in the world, the things that make us great. I'm fucking one too. What do I care? You think I'm holding myself to any higher standard? Of course I'm holding myself to a higher standard. Do you think I think any more of myself? No. Brother's a lazy bastard. Sister's a psychopathic woman. I love you. You're psycho. And my other brother, he broke his back the other day getting it blown out with a bunch of dudes at a pogo park. Or it was like a bouncy... It was a bouncy thing. It was a bouncy... It was a bop house. Is that what they call them? Like the Sky Zone things, they're bop houses? Okay, yeah, he was at a bop house and he did a backflip and he broke his back. So he's retarded. Broke back mountain boy. Broke back baby. Broke back baby bitch. The whole point of this and me telling you a lot about my family and the little bits and pieces of us and what makes us fantastic and like is because this movie Rental Family is about hating yourself so much that you have to rent out a new family. Or it's about hating your family so much or missing someone so much or longing and all that stuff that you have to rent the family member. And I'll be honest, I would rent out several of you in a heartbeat. Not even gonna... What, do you think I'm lying? I could... If I rented out my mother and father, I might feel a little more self-respect for myself. Let's be 100% honest here. This is what happens in this world. You can't be raised by a native and an Italian woman. That is an unhappy household. It's like, my parents are like Beth and Jerry from fucking Rick and Morty. Any of you ever watched that? That is my parents. My parents are Beth and Jerry, except my father looks like Gabriel Iglesias' seminal cousin. And my mother looks like every American Italian woman. Just very, very so Wapdago-ish. Well, the point is, it's actually a great take on mental health. The entire movie is a commentary on how we handle ourselves with grief and how we handle our situations with our family and our friends and with loss and with dealing with our own selves. And it starts off with Brendan Fraser, who is a, let's not say failed actor, but still trying actor in his 40s in Japan who did a toothpaste commercial 8 years ago. But then he runs across this gig where he has to pretend to be... He doesn't have to pretend to be. He just is a sad American at this funeral. And the company brings him back and they offer him a job where he essentially rents out his services to be whomever. He rents out to be someone's father for a little bit. That's actually the whole point of the story is he rents out to be someone's father so that way this girl can get into a school. But he rents out to be an interviewer who helps this older actor live his life and see a lot of it's a fantastically beautiful movie and see a lot of his younger years and re-experience a lot of what made him who he is and happy. He plays a bride for a woman and it's who happened to be a lesbian. Semper gay. Hold on, wait. Semper bi. I like that one. That was funny. I like that one. But throughout the movie, he starts to notice that these people really place stock in these feelings because several of them don't actually know that he was hired to be a part of their lives. Like the older actor and the child, they didn't know that he was an actor. They just knew that he was... The mother said that she was his long-lost father and that once she got into school, he had to pretend that he went back to America. And then the other one that he was an interviewer asking about his younger years as an actor so he can get a biography written out for him and all this stuff. And the weight and the pressure eventually starts to weigh on him after a little bit. And it does on everyone. There's the one main actress in this film. She takes slaps because apparently they do... Oh, I can't remember what she calls it. Yeah, apologies. Girlfriend apologies, where she pretends that she was... Because men will cheat on their woman and then they don't want to oust the mistress because they still want to keep having the affair. So they hire her to pretend to be the mistress. And then the wife, girlfriend, whomever, slaps the shit out of her. And she gets paid extra for it, but it's abuse on every level. And that bothers Brendan Fraser's character, hers, and she winds up quitting and... They reworked the entire service. It turns out the guy who ran the entire company had his own family that he hired for himself. There were other workers, and those workers he hired to play his wife and son. It was just, it became sad. And it eventually is a matter of other countries don't believe therapy is a healthy option. They believe that it's very bad, it's very Western, it's very stigmatized, especially in Asia. And so this was a different route to experience all of these different emotions that you could be experiencing. Like, I would probably hire my parents to take me to Disney and then hire someone to molest me so I could get the experience of what it was like to relive my childhood and be molested. Do you know what I mean? It might actually make me feel better about my childhood, knowing that I could get molested in a way that I guess wanted. You know what I mean? What's wrong with a little CNC? What's wrong with me pretending to be a 6-year-old with the spinning hat and the little backpack and the little goofy face mask and pretending to get molested? What's wrong with this? What is wrong with any of this? Fantastic film. The acting was amazing. Every shot was amazing. The ending completely wrapped up beautifully with the actor dying and them continuing the services without the girlfriend apologies and making it to where it was more of an open door policy where people were more aware of the situation they were getting themselves into instead of building the emotional dependence on them. And he got to become friends with the little girl. No Disney. See, now it's not no Diddy. Now it's no Disney if you want to say that you're not a pedophile. You know what I mean? No Disney. He made friends with the kid at the end. No Disney. And you know what? Isn't that what we could all aspire? I couldn't even get that out. If I had to rent out anyone in my family directly, currently, other than my parents, I would hire a stepsister. You know what I mean? I would hire a stepsister so that way I could understand the trauma that some of these people go through when they are molested by their step-siblings. I'd pretend to get stuck on the underside of a car facing up and be like, help, stepsister, help. And then she tries to pull me down and then my pants just rip down and then I get molested. Terrible. What a terrible thing to experience. What a horrible, awful thing to experience, especially when you're considering that it's your step-sibling. Terrible. Awful. I don't think those were the services they were rendering, but they would make bank if they did. If those were the services they were rendering, they'd make Disney money. You know what I mean? I think that they would be raking in the buku bucks. They'd be pulling in as many millions as Disney pulls in kids for child sex trafficking. And on that note, y'all have a beautiful, happy Mother's Day. Oh, wait, hold on. Was that everything? I think so. All right. If we got anything, we'll add a PS and stuff like that. I'm done doing all that shit. You know what? Y'all have a beautiful, happy Mother's Day. Go give your mother a hug. Maybe try and rent her out in another country. Maybe go on a Disney cruise and sell one of your family members on there. Money to be made, baby. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see y'all next weekend. Peace.